Hello everyone, I'm Savaş Girgin from temadil.com. Today I'm going to give you some information about IELTS, academic and general training. About 10 days ago we conducted a webinar on our platform temadil.com, and today I'm going to give you some of the points that we covered on that webinar. Yes, let's begin. As I said, IELTS is academic and also general training. There are two types of examinations, and I'm going to talk about both exams here. So first, the score band. Score band is IELTS in 9. 9 is as you see, the expert user, and 2 is the intermediate user. And usually candidates in Turkey who want to be a pilot and who want to take the exam for academic purposes expect to get 5.5, 6, sometimes 6.5, and this is the band. So good user, competent user. These are the criteria which are expected from the candidates in Turkey. If you want to be a pilot or if you want to study abroad, the score band is usually at least 6, or you're expected to get 7 or higher than 7. So good user, competent user, these are the criteria which you need to meet in IELTS exam. And in the listening parts, you will listen to 4 recordings of native English speakers and then write your answers to a series of questions. In recording 1, there's a conversation between 2 people set in an everyday social context. And in recording 2, there's a monologue set in an everyday social context. Example, like a speech about local facilities. In recording 3, conversation between up to 4 people set in an educational or training context. Example, for example, a university tutor and students discussing an assignment. And in recording 4, there's a monologue on an academic subject. For example, a university lecture. As you see, it starts from the social context and continues with the academic context, academic subject in the listening part, and it takes 30 minutes. The question types are multiple choice, matching, plan, map, diagram, labeling, form, notes, table, flowchart, summary completion, sentence completion, and short answer questions. So in IELTS exam, you answer the questions while listening. It's not note taking, so you have the opportunity to answer the questions at that time. And so you don't have to take notes and then look at your notes and then answer the questions. It's while listening. One of the samples in the exam which is tested in the IELTS listening, as you see, there is a plan here, and you see the art collection, children books, and you put these things, and art collection, children books, computers, in the right place. So you just make the plan, you listen, and then you put these things, objects or rooms or whatever, in the right place. This is what we do in IELTS listening test. This is one of the samples. Here's another sample. It says complete the notes on the diagram below, and again you're given for example, operation cycle. You listen to this process and you complete the blanks. This is what we do in IELTS listening. Here's another sample in listening. Which hotel matches each description? It's a matching question type. And again, you listen and you try to match. For example, you say the Bridge Hotel is in a rural area, or the Imperial Hotel has an indoor swimming pool, whatever it is. You just match these information. In the speaking parts of IELTS, and it takes about 11 to 14 minutes. So what is inside speaking? The speaking component assesses your use of spoken English. Every test is recorded. So there are 3 parts here in the listening part. So in the first part, the examiner will ask you general questions about yourself and a range of familiar topics such as home, family, and work, studies, interests. And this part lasts between 4 and 5 minutes. It's just like, you can think about it like a warm-up kind of questions. So, and in the next part, you will be given a card which asks you to talk about a particular topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare before speaking for up to 2 minutes. The examiner will then ask 1 or 2 questions on the same topic. And in part 3, you will be asked further questions about the topic in part 2. So these will give you the opportunity to discuss more abstract ideas and issues. So this part of the test lasts between 4 and 5 minutes. So as we see, there are 3 parts in the IELTS speaking exam, and the first part is about you, and you can talk about your social life, your family, and in part 2 and part 3 are related to each other. So you choose the card and you speak about it. In reading, in academic reading part, we have the test takes about 60 minutes. So here are the question types. We have again multiple choice, ABC type of questions. Identifying information, identifying writer's views, claims, matching information, matching headings, matching features, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, summary, note, table, flowchart completion, diagram, label completion, and short answer questions. So as you see, there are different types of questions here. So one should need to improve his reading skills. So it's 60 minutes and there are many tasks that you need to accomplish. So you need to be fast, you need to be careful, and you need to have the ability to scan and skim the text very quickly and find the relevant information here. In reading general training, it's 60 minutes again. So the first section is social survival, contains text relevant to basic linguistic survival in English with tasks mainly about retrieving and providing general factual information. For example, notices, advertisements, and timetables. And the second section is workplace survival, focuses on the workplace context. For example, job descriptions, contracts, and staff development and training materials. In the third section, general reading, involves reading more extended prose with a more complex structure. Here the emphasis is on the descriptive and instructive rather than argumentative texts, in a general context relevant to the wide range of test takers involved. For example, newspapers, magazines, and fictional and non-fictional book extracts. As you see, in the academic reading and general reading are completely different. In writing, in academic writing, task 1, test takers may be asked to describe facts or figures presented in one or more graphs. So graph reading is important here. Charts, tables on a related topic, or they may be given a diagram of a machine or a device or a process and asked to explain how it works. They should write it in an academic or semi-formal styles and include the most important and the most relevant points in the diagram. Some minor points or details may be left out. So here in academic writing, task 1, candidates are expected to describe facts or figures in a graph. So graph reading is important here. In general writing, task 1, test takers are presented with a situation and required to write a personal response in the form of an informal, semi-formal, or formal letter, at least 150 words, in the answer booklet provided. The situations they are asked to write about are common, everyday ones, such as writing to a college accommodation officer about problems with accommodation, writing to a new employer about time management problems they're having, writing to a local newspaper about a plan to develop a local airport, writing to a renting agency to sort out problems with the heating system in their house, just like complaint letters. And you write a letter with one of your dissatisfactions. So this is the writing, general training writing part. IELTS academic task 2 is the same for general training and academic. So what we do here is test takers are given a topic to write about an academic or semi-formal style. Actually, they are expected to write an essay here. Answers should be a discursive consideration of the relevant issues. Test takers should make sure that they read the task carefully and provide a full and relevant response. For example, if the topic is a particular aspect of computers, they should focus on this aspect in their response. Yeah, this is the end of our presentation. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Instagram or YouTube, or you can, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us or call us. Thanks for listening.